Hello, this is Kabin. Um, this is day two of me doing the taping of myself. I'm trying to pick a new point on the camera over here, right to the left of or to the right as I'm looking at it, of the camera lens to look at more. And also not so much scrunching of my face. I look like a Klingon when I'm like this, I'm talking. Sometimes I notice that and a lot of batting of the eyes that are taking place. So I'm hoping I can reduce some of that and act with the eyes. That's what I want to do. For those people who might be seeing this for the first time, what I'm trying to do right now is to um, work on camera acting. So when I get done, take a look at myself, do a little critique, and welcome anyone to critique as well, because what I need to do is become a more, I don't know, I need not to move so much, especially when the camera is this tight on my face. I mean, I like the fact that I have an expressive face. I like that, but I think it might be considered a little too theatrical for the camera. So what I need to do is learn, just like Wynton Marsalis learned how to do jazz and classical. Each one of them has a different style and technique that needs to be mastered. So I'm far from mastering theatrical technique, but I'm even farther from mastering on camera technique. So I'm just trying this. And what I'm doing is I'm reading from the Writer's Almanac, which is a Garrison Keillor little short little presentation that he does on National Public Radio. And I love it because it's poetry. And I don't read enough poetry, and I've always been a fan of poetry. And I want to do more of that because it's just very beautiful to do. So anyway, I've got my little setup here. I know the things to remember. Let me know if you see the scrunching of the eyebrow, the Klingon look, which is what I really want to avoid. Too much flippity flippity with the eyelashes or the eyebrows. What else? What did someone else say? My lighting sucks. That sucks even worse. I'm not going to spend like half an hour trying to figure out the hey. Okay. Well, if I did it, shit. Okay, if I did it like this. Now the thing is, what I don't want to do is set the room on fire. I think that looks a little better. Now I can't tell if my looking right there is a better thing, but we're gonna try all of that business, all that bees nas. Okay, I think I'm good. Am I good? Ugh, it feels so weird to do this. Anyway, that's why I'm doing it, right? Okay, here we go. Monday, January 16th, 2012, Writer's Almanac by Garrison Keillor. Um, oh, I forgot to open these things. I'm trying to be as cold as possible with these reads, just so that I can. I don't know why. Maybe I need to prepare them. No, I don't have time to prepare them. What I have time to do is to do these, critique myself, and see if I'm getting any better on the cold. And then when I have time to prepare, I'll spend more time preparing. All right. Today is the birthday of novelist William Kennedy. Born in Albany, New York in 1928, he is the author of a series of 8 novels set in Albany called the Albany Cycle, beginning with Legs in 1975 and Billy Phelan's Greatest Game in 1978. His third novel, Ironweed in 1983, is the story of a homeless man and alcoholic who left his family after he accidentally killed his infant son. It won a Kennedy it won Kennedy, a National Book Award and a Pulitzer. And in 1987, it was made into a film starring Jack Nicholson and Meryl Streep. And Kennedy wrote the screen adaptation. The 8th novel in the cycle came out last fall, Chango's Beads and Two-Tone Shoes in 2011, is about the Cuban Revolution in the 1950s and the 1968 race riots in Albany. It is the birthday of poet and memorist Mary Karr, born in Groves, Texas, 1955. She had a rough childhood. Her parents were both heavy drinkers. Her dad worked at an oil refinery and told a good story. Her mom was an artist, mentally unstable, and she had been married 7 times. What in the world did that woman have to offer for someone to marry 7 times? See, by the time I was getting to like four, something's not right with her. No, I shouldn't be looking at that. I should be looking over there. Where was I? But her mom was a voracious reader about the only real escapism that town offered. As Carr told the Paris Review, reading is a socially accepted disassociation. You flip a switch and you're not there anymore. It's better than heroin, more effective and cheaper and legal. She always thought of herself as a poet and has published 4 volumes of poetry. She became famous as a memoirist. She wrote her first memoir, The Liars Club, in 1995 because she needed the money. It took 2.5 years because she only worked on it every other weekend when her son was with his father. It was on the New York Times bestseller list for more than a year, and she followed it up with 2 more memoirs, Cherry in the year 2000 and Lit 2009. Today is the birthday of novelist, essayist, and cultural critic Susan Sontag. Born Susan Rosenblatt in New York City in 1933, she grew up in Tucson and Los Angeles, California. She graduated from high school when she was 15, went to the University of California at Berkeley for a semester, and then transferred to the University of Chicago. It was there during her sophomore year that she met Philip Reif, a 28-year-old sociology instructor. They were married 10 days after they met, rock and roll, and had a son, David, in 1952. She and Reif divorced in 1958, and the next year she moved to New York with $70, 2 suitcases, and a 70-year-old. When she was 26, she met William Phillips, one of the founding editors of Partisan Review, at a cocktail party. She asked him how she might write for the journal, and he said, "All you need to do is ask." She replied, "Then I'm asking." She began to write provocative essays on culture, both high and low. One in particular that became famous in 1964 was called Notes on Camp. She dedicated it to Oscar Wilde. It was a direct challenge to the cultural establishment. She wrote, "The experiences of camp are based on the great discovery that the sensibility of high culture has no monopoly on refinement." Camp asserts that good taste is not simply good taste, that there exists indeed a good taste of bad taste. I like it. Oh, and she wrote another essay in that year called Against Interpretation in 1964, in which she argues that people should stop trying to analyze and interpret art and just enjoy the experience on a spiritual and sensual level. She wrote, "Interpretation is the revenge of the intellect upon art. Even more, it is the revenge of the intellect upon the world. To interpret is to impoverish, to deplete the world, in order to set up a shadow world of meanings." I like Susan Sontag, man. I have to say, a lot of the stuff that I read of hers, it's like reading Buckminster Fuller for me. I mean, I just sit there and I read it, and just big thought bubbles of question marks come up in my head because I'm not as smart as I think I am. We have a poem today called "The Fight," written by Gregory Janikian. Oh crap, I forgot to look him up and I don't have time to do it right now. "The Fight" by Gregory Janikian. It was over a girl. One boy had spoken to her. He had asked her out. The other had been feeling with her the twitches of something serious. It was a misunderstanding. Something that might have been fixed, talked out, or around. But the whole school had turned out to watch them settle it. It was too late for talk. It was no longer just their fight. Something irrelevant and impure had entered it. Honor, looking more upright than the other, things which had nothing to do with the girl, or desire, or what she had whispered to one of them one night in the car. So they faced each other, bringing their anger up by saying what finally did not matter, but loudly enough so their bodies believed it. There was a sudden coming together. There were fists flailing while everybody, hundreds, watched. One was cut above the eye, the other's knuckles were bloodied against teeth. It lasted half a minute until one of them pulled back and said something like, "This is stupid." And the other dropped his fist and watched him walk away. The Fight by Gregory Janikian, from Falling Deeply into America, published by Carnegie Mellon University Press, 1989, reprinted with permission for this show. The Writer's Almanac. The host is Garrison Keillor. Writers are Betsy Allister, Priscilla Kinter, Heather McPherson, and Holly Vanderhaar. Technical Director Thomas Schweitzger. Engineer Noah Smith. Coordinator Nick Vetter. And permissions by Kathy Roach. And I swear I know who that is. As Garrison Keillor always says, be well, do good work, and keep in touch. All right, well, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to do a monologue. The monologue I'm going to do is Hamlet's To Be or Not to Be. Now, anybody still watching this, of which I'm sure there is an exceptionally few number, if anyone at this point, I ask that you do not kill the messenger. I have not been coached on this. I'm just doing it for this. So, any of you who are pulling your hair out or talking about interpretation, good or bad, I'm not sure if that's actually the point. Maybe it should be, but more importantly, the point is to do this well and to see how I deliver an incredibly emotional thing and how it looks on the camera. All right. So, to be or not to be from Hal. To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them, to die, to sleep no more, and by asleep, to say I can't remember what the rest of that is. Completely lost it. Maybe I should have it over here. Alright, well, we'll do that tomorrow. The hell. It's like, I'm tired. I can't remember what the hell this thing is. Why didn't I look that up? Hamlet soliloquy. There we go. Okay, if I can find this quick, I will do this thing, man. So Act 1? No, is it that early in Hamlet? That would be kind of crazy. It's been a long time since I've seen this. Let's see what we got here. It's not gonna happen soon. Oh well. There's nobody watching this shit. Take my time. Look it up. Yeah, it's not here either. Oh well. Let's see. Where do I look this thing up? Oh well. I'll look it up later. I am tired. I did enough.
There was a little bit of trepidation.
What the hell is this?
Not quite knowing what the next phase was going to be.
What the hell is this?
Because you've been, this is what you've been doing.
Stop it. You gotta stop
working.
Stop this. You're scaring the shit out of me. Alright, well, I'm done.